I first saw a boxing match on the Hull Fairground in the boxing booth. That was the very first time I ever stopped to see boxing at all. I was about 15 years old, yeah. Well, back then, the boxing was always the men, because there wasn't such a thing as a girl boxing until I came along. Well, Polly Burns actually did come before me, and she was a woman who boxed on boxing booths around 1914 time, back then. And I read an article in a newspaper about her, and that's what made me say, well, if she can do it, so can I. So I switched from soccer to boxing at that time. I was trying to get a soccer team together, but it was very difficult to get 11 girls. And of course they were always, oh, girls don't play soccer back then. And look at the way soccer has developed for the women now. The reactions weren't very good. I wouldn't say they tried to stop me, but they weren't very happy about it. But I was determined I wanted to box, so I just kept on going. I guess I was just stubborn and wanted to do it, and I determined to go ahead and carry on doing it. And I thought that girls should have an opportunity to follow anything that they wanted to, you know, the same as the guys. They decided they were interested in being certain things or following certain interests. They just went ahead and did it, and nobody got excited about it. But the girls, you know, they don't play soccer, they don't do this, they don't do that. It was annoying. First gym I trained at was Mickey Wood's gymnasium in London, because really you weren't accepted in gymnasiums at that time. And I trained there, and the first boxing I did publicly was probably on the boxing booths around London. And the first time was Epsom Downs Derby Day, 1949. It was just an exhibition with some of the fighters on the booth, you know. A booth, it was like a tent that they used to put up with a boxing ring in the middle. And they had, on the front of the booth, they had a team of boxers that used to get up and challenge the crowd. Well, I think working out in the gym and sparring, you get used to the punches and you don't notice them like you do if you've never. If somebody gets hit that isn't used to, it really is a problem. But when you're just used to taking the punches and going with them and that, you get used to it, and it's not so, you know, difficult, yeah. Well, it's a one-on-one competition sort of thing, and it's entirely up to you to prove you're better than the opponent. It's not like when you're with a team, it's a little bit of everybody, but boxing is just you against them. Well, the girl I fought was 5'7" and 30 pounds heavier than I was. But it wasn't the weight so much as the height, because she would reach and punch and move away, and I had a hard time trying to catch her, trying to get in there. I wanted a return fight with her. It went 8 rounds, and I always felt that I could beat her. She was the one bleeding on the end, not me, but she did beat me because, you know, she was reaching me and getting out the way, and I couldn't get to her that much. But she was the best around at the time as well, in her own weight class even, yeah. Well, I used to train. I used to go to the gyms and train and all that, but I didn't have any competition because it takes a lot of your time up, and so does the baby, you know. you just basically carry on, you know. It didn't make too much difference to you working out in the gym and things like that. It was just the time. It was a matter of getting the time to do everything you wanted to do. Well, I wanted to give the women chance to compete with each other, because there was not too many promoters that would promote their fights, and so we set up that Women's International Boxing Federation, and we put on quite a few title fights, and it's still promoting in Europe, but I haven't promoted it in the United States for a few years. Oh, I do, and any chance I get. Yes, I was very happy to see that an English girl won the flyweight title, yeah. And I was happy to be there, and I met her. She used to come to Florida and train at some point in her career, and we met there as well. But she just turned pro, and I'm hoping to see her go a long way. Yeah. The opinions back then basically didn't encourage women to be that active in sports such as boxing and soccer, you know, and things like that. But I was quite fit, and I think the girls just should go ahead and be what they want to be, you know. Everybody's different, and everybody should just be what they are, not try to live up to one certain image, which wasn't very interesting, I didn't find back then. Take advantage of the opportunities you have today, of the abilities to go into any gym and work out, and you're accepted and encouraged, and just do the best you can, and feel lucky that you do have the backing and the encouragement of the people, you know.